That. The gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Hill, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Mr. Marcus, again, thank you for being here. I wanted to talk a little bit about what appears to be a core business element for Calibra, and that is the issue of remittances. The World Bank says that the single most important challenge in remittances around the world is lack of transparency and cost, and the average global cost of remittances is about 7%. So tell me what fees you'll be charging for moving money inside the Calibra system.
Congressman, the goal for Calibra is to charge very little or nothing at all for P2P transactions, or for person-to-person transactions. We're hoping that we can offer that part of the service for free.
And then, therefore, on B2B or B2C, you'd be charging something
there will likely
in Libra currency, fractional Libra currency.
There will likely be small merchant fees that will be competitive, very competitive with the current fees that are paid by merchants.
And inside the Calibra system, you'll earn revenue from advertising as well?
No, Congressman, no advertising in Calibra. The Calibra revenue streams, when we start working on that, which we haven't at all, and we don't plan to for a number of years, will likely be by offering a range of financial services in partnerships with existing financial institutions and banks.
And so in those remittances, which are so important to countries all over the world, we know what percentage of GDP remittances represent, particularly in Central and America and Mexico. I think it's the third largest source of hard currency in Mexico, for example, 20% in Honduras. Both sides of that equation would be subject to KYC?
Yes, Congressman. On the Calibra wallet, you will not be able to open an account without having proper KYC.
And one of the issues in the world, obviously, is they don't have a stable currency and are subject to inflation, terrible inflation. I think I read a note that 94 countries, representing 48% of the world's population and 16% of world GDP, experience on a regular basis 10% or more inflation per year. So is it your view that Calibra wallet will have a more stable currency than their local currency? Or more stable value, I should say, than their local currency?
Congressman, the way we've designed the reserve, and again, subject to proper oversight and review from the G7 working group and others, is to have a very stable, value retentive digital currency. So yes, it will be a very high quality digital currency in a number of countries that are currently receiving a lot of their income from abroad. They will now receive a lot of their income from abroad in a stable currency that will retain its value.
What do you think, though, about obviously many of those same third world countries and some larger than third world have very strict controls on foreign currency. They have currency controls. They have currency boards. They don't allow their consumers to take action outside their home currency. They don't allow their home currency to be taken out of the country. How does Libra plan on dealing with that?
Congressman, this is going to be a country-by-country answer. There are lots of countries that have the problems you highlighted and that don't have currency controls that we think we can address right away. And then for other countries, it will definitely be a country-by-country approach. The one thing I want to highlight, though, is the fact that any wallet, not only Calibra, any wallet that is actually built on top of the Libra network will be interoperable with one another, meaning that to provide the value that we intend to provide for so many people, we don't need to be the only wallet. And in certain regions, it will be other wallets, but they would still benefit from interoperability. I
thought that was an interesting conversation with my friend from New York about the exclusivity of the wallet, Calibra wallet at WhatsApp, for example. You do plan on having, and you have 100 members that aren't interested in Facebook having any more monopoly than they do now. So would you have Visa's debit credit system available as a wallet?
Congressman, we will have a number of other payment methods for commerce on the Facebook platform and Instagram as well, including debit, credit cards, other wallets. And as far as P2P payments, there will be more.
There will be competition on P2P payments, even on Facebook's application.
There will be on traditional currencies, the same way that in Messenger you can currently use debit cards to do P2P.
Yield back. Thank you, Chair.
The gentleman.